we're seeing worlds that we've never seen before, parts of ourselves that we've never seen before, like the potentials within us that we've never seen before. We're done with the lies, with the manipulation, with being fed a story that isn't true. Which direction do you want to walk in, right? Like, which story are you going to tell yourself? Hello and welcome to this reading for starseeds, lightworkers, empaths. I am Rachel. I am an intuitive energy healer. My brain's already a little mushy as I tune into the energy. I get like sleepy sometimes when I tune in to start to channel. But yes, my name is Rachel. I'm excited that you're here. With this reading, make sure you take what resonates, leave the rest. If you're new here, I am offering some teachings on intuition, if that's something you've been interested in. I have a free workshop available on how to connect to your intuition. It's a really thorough look at what is needed to connect with your intuition, and you are guided in some processes to connect with and receive your inner wisdom. I also have a new 7-day energy healing series on connecting with your intuition. It's there's 5 energy healings, there's a yoga nidra and a guided meditation, so it's really quite nice if that is the route you would like to connect with your intuition through. Because your intuition is energy from your soul, right? It's your soul. Your soul communicates to you through energy and frequency, and so using like energy healings to start working with subtle energy is a really nice way to connect with your intuition. So let's get into this reading. Let me tune in here and see where the first card wants to come from. I'm feeling we're going to go for the Star Child Tarot first here. Let's take a deep breath together and exhale. Another deep breath. Exhale. I hope you're doing well. This message is timeless. I'm sure it will be relevant to what's going on right now. But if you find this in the future, if it resonates with you, it resonates with you, right? So let's see what our first card is that's going to come out here. We have the 7 of Crystals, the 5 of Wands, and the Page of Wands and Knight of Swords. Okay, put that right there. Okay, 7 of Crystals, 5 of Wands, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords. Okay. Tuning in here. The 7 of Crystals, I mean, looking at this card, there is kind of, because it feels like this is like a little bit of a cave or something, there's this energy of like going like within yourself, and like the earth energy here, it feels like coming home to the physical body. And the 7 energy, it does feel like maybe there's a disconnect there between like your relationship with your body and like where you're at. But there's this person has their arms up, and so it's kind of this like opening, but I'm feeling kind of this like surrendering energy, right? Like the 7 of Crystals in this deck, but Pentacles in other decks, it has to do with like patience often. But I'm feeling this kind of like surrendering energy, and then just like looking at the crystals coming through here on this image, it feels like they're like being given the opportunity to expand and open up. But especially like with this 5 of Wands energy coming out here, like there's like a contraction energy in the 5. And tuning in here, this card specifically in this deck, like I always feel an energy of contrast, just like with the very different colors in these 2 areas on the card, with the sky and then the landscape and the individual here. There's this like contrasting energy of, it feels like you've been shown like what it is like could be for you, whether that is a negative or positive experience, and now you're being given the opportunity to like choose what you want. There's an integration energy here. There's this like, I'm feeling like the water here of this like, oh, and then like this Knight of Swords energy. This is such an interesting image here, with like looking down into that vortex portal. It's kind of like, it's reminiscent of this like, just this water looks like jelly, of this water here, of like looking down into this water of like what is there and available to you. Feeling like a lot of energy coming through. I'm trying to differentiate and clarify what the energy is saying. So let me tune into this Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords energies here. I think both the Page of Wands and Knight of Swords came out in this month's energy reading as well, so that's interesting. This Page of Wands energy, there's like new opportunity here. There's this, I'm feeling so much peace in this card. It feels like a call for peace in this expansion, especially like with this Five of Wands energy. It feels like this call for peace and like stillness, I want to say, but also there's like a clarity energy coming through. There's just like so much energy coming through. So let me take a moment and pause, because I want to get really clear on like what specifically the message is. Okay, it was feeling like very jumbled with what was coming through, but there is this energy of clarity, especially with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords has this like move forward, like there's a fast moving energy in the Knight of Swords energy, and I was feeling the energy of like starting something with this Page of Wands here, like taking your power, taking what you've learned, taking what you know, and like creating something with it. And like this Knight of Swords energy, it is like the creation of that, almost like the wand energy is very much about creation, creativity, creative expression, like your inner flame, your inner spark, your power even. And this Knight of Swords energy, it's like, because this is fire, right, and the swords is air, and so this Knight of Swords energy, it's like blowing, like giving fuel to the fire. It's like stoking the flames of the fire, like blowing on the flames to have it reach more of what it's going to burn, in a creative way, not a destructive way, but maybe in a destructive way depending on where you're at right now. Yeah, interesting. Okay, again, I feel jumbled in all of the energies coming through. It feels just like a lot wants to come through. So I'm gonna pull some more cards for some more clarity here. So let's go for 3 more cards here. The Seven of Cups. Awakening. And the Two of Swords. Okay. Seven of Cups, awakening, Two of Swords. So with this Seven of Cups energy, this again, it like kind of speaks to what was coming through earlier with this like options of like you've been shown like what it is that you could have, what you may or may not want, right, depending on what it is you've been experiencing lately, of what it is you're tuning into. It's like you have been given the options, whether it's been like in a very real tangible situation, or it's been more like energetic, where you felt into the energy of what is possible for you, or you felt into the energy of a direction you could go down that doesn't feel aligned for you, or maybe you've had just like a lot of really intense contrasting experiences of to what like you don't want, and now you're being given this opportunity to choose. There's this energy of choice in the Seven of Cups, and then having a 2 come up along with it. It speaks to choice, and especially like Two of Swords energy. There can be an energy in this card of like blindly choosing, but having awakening come up with this card, it's very much like we are not blindly choosing anymore. We're not blindly going down into a path that isn't for us, right? Like I'm feeling this, like, I'm not sure if you can see in the image here, but it looks like there's kind of like a path that could be walked in this. It's like a hall, I guess. I don't know what we would call this structure that is in this card, but it's like there's a direction that you're going in, and it's about being deliberate, because like there is so much fuel to the fire, right? So when you go down the direction that is most aligned for you, there's going to be a lot of momentum and a lot of energy behind it, and so it's like about making the choice of what you want to experience that is aligning with your awakening, that's aligning with who you came here to be, and like using your power to choose, right? And like also recognizing that like with all of the options that you have, like no matter what choice you make, you'll end up where you're meant to be, like no matter what, right? Because there is a power greater than us that is guiding us, right? Like we are incredibly powerful, but we are also human, which means that we have a very limited perspective, and when we aren't, it's just part of the deal, right? Like we're just not able to see the full picture, even when we are able to get into deep meditative states. People who have near-death experiences, they can see more of the full picture through that experience, but there's so much that we can't see and that we don't know as human beings, which is just part of the gig here. It's just part of what we're doing here. And so it's about recognizing that like there is a power guiding us, I feel, especially with this awakening energy coming through here. It's like, again, like feeling that energy of surrender that was coming through in this card. And I'm feeling like an energy of surrender in the Knight of Swords as well. It's like surrendering to the energy that wants to move through you, surrendering to the path that you're walking on, surrendering to the new like creation coming through you. And when I say creation, I don't necessarily mean like artistic project. It's more about like the creation that your life is, like seeing your life as a creation, right? Like this Seven of Cups energy has in it this like energy of like we're creating our life, like our experiences are our life, right? And we're actively creating those experiences by what we choose, and like through the contrasting experiences that we have here. And it's about, what was I saying? we got lost in all the cards and all the energy. I'm not sure, it'll come through. Oh yeah, this like surrendering energy, and this like you're creating your life, right? And like bringing in the support of the universe through that, right? Like that's where this surrendering energy is coming through. It's like surrendering to the energy that wants to support you, that wants to help you, that wants to guide you on your path and on your journey. And that could be like specifically your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors of the light, your higher self, obviously, and definitely like it feels like an opening to the greater plan of the universe as a whole, like from a very broad perspective. And like letting yourself be okay with not knowing what that is and what that looks like. And I know that can be challenging. It's challenging for me. This has kind of been a little bit of a practice for me lately, is like really trying to let it be whatever it is, what I'm walking into right now, because it is unknown. I don't know what it is that I'm, walking into. We never really know though, right? So does anything else want to come out with these cards here? Okay, I don't think so. Let's pull some more cards. I'm feeling maybe a different deck. Feeling a little dizziness come through, a lot of energy, like I said. Okay, we're moving into the Moonchild Tarot here, and let's see what messages want to come through today. The Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and Judgment. Okay, so this is interesting. So the Knight of Swords, again, this is like doubling down. I always find it interesting when I feel called to use multiple tarot decks and then like the same cards come out from two different decks. So we have two Knight of Swords energy here. We have the Queen of Swords here. And then we have Judgment that came up, which is the equivalent in this deck of Awakening. So these energies are really doubling down here on the messages that want to come through with these cards, right? So two Knight of Swords, it's like this is like a little bit intense, I feel, but that doesn't have to be scary. That doesn't have to be like overwhelming or a lot. Like we can work with that energy in a way that feels like stabilized and grounding for us. But also I am feeling like if it does feel intense and like a lot and uncomfortable and overwhelming, like that's okay. Like that is normal, because there is just a lot of movement happening. There's a lot happening behind the scenes right now that we can't see, right? Like I was saying, like there's a lot happening from a universal perspective that we simply cannot see, right? That we don't have cognitive access to, but our souls are very aware of. Our higher selves are in the know on that, right? And so it's like, gosh, life is so interesting. Being a human being and having this like limited perspective, but then having like all of the wisdom of the universe within us. But how do we access that, right? Like that is the question, right? And that's why I'm like teaching people how to connect to their intuition, because that is how we access our infinite wisdom, right? I want to talk about the Queen of Swords energy here, because this is a card of boundaries, and having it come up with all of this like kind of intense energy coming through, it's like this is very much, I'm feeling like discernment. The word deliberation came through, but it feels like and like deliberate, being very deliberate, like with this Two of Swords energy too. It's like being very clear on what is and isn't okay for you, what you do and don't want. And this is, and it's like choosing it by what you focus on, right? By like what you're putting your attention on, what your frequency is that you're emitting, and that is determined by what you focus on. And maybe there's like some healing work that needs to be done in order to kind of clear out some stuff around the frequency that you're emitting, because there is like, these are the, Judgment is the card of spiritual awakening. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm like seeing the imagery on this Knight of Swords card, and it is just, it's like we're starting to see the things that we haven't been able to see before. Let me show you this card, because it looks like, there's an awakening energetically happening like visually with this individual, and then there are like two individuals, I think they're this same person in the middle here on either side that are a little bit more translucent. And this feels like an awakening to multidimensionality, and especially like looking at this Knight of Swords card too. There's this energy of recognizing multidimensionality in a whole new way. And then like this Judgment card, like the reflection energy of like the two sides of it. It's like there's this knowledge coming through, this knowledge that is available to us of who we really are. I'm feeling like, you know, swords is also associated with truth, and so I'm feeling this like this clarity of truth and understanding of who we really are in like these swords energies here, in this like awakening energy here, right? It's like we're done with the BS, right? It's like we're done with the lies, with the manipulation, with being fed a story that isn't true. And that, I think, is on a broad scale, and it could be in your own personal life too, depending on what's going on in your life. But I definitely think on a broad scale, like we're done with the bullshit. We're done like being fed a story that isn't true for us. And like we have so much awareness now, and we're opening up to, of like what is true and what is real. Because as, again, human beings, we can only see so much, and because we are biologically wired to survive, we have a fear mechanism that is designed to keep us alive, and that fear is fed quite a bit, and that really limits us, right? And we're starting to become aware of who we really are, what our truth is, like what our real nature is, that we are so much broader than just what we can see. And we're like letting go of the fear, right? Like we're seeing worlds that we've never seen before. We're seeing parts of ourselves that we've never seen before, like the potentials within us that we've never seen before. And it comes back to like choosing, like which direction do you want to walk in, right? Like which story are you going to tell yourself? Yeah, like which direction are you going to walk in? Which story are you going to tell yourself? Like what is your narrative? What is your new narrative? Like what is this kind of like new creation that you are bringing through with like, gosh, this like fast moving energy, this new creation energy, this like this spiritually aligned energy. It's very interesting what this message is. So let me see, does anything else want to come through? I don't think so. I'm feeling like the energy of wrapping it up here. Yeah, it just feels very much like really honing in on your spirituality and on like who you are in a broader sense, right? So like your spiritual practice can look very, very different from the next person's. And I think it should, you know, because I think it should be individualized and personal to you. Obviously, like get inspiration from other people and try things other people are doing and see what works for you. But like your life is meant to be different from from other people's lives, which means your spiritual practice is going to look different too. So like whatever it is that helps you know who you are, like feel the truth of your soul and feel the resonance of your power, like do that, right? Like it could be like reading, it could be an art project, it could be just like connecting with people. Like those are spiritual practices, right? Like we are all spiritual beings and we are all living a spiritual life, right? To a degree, whether we're conscious of it or not, because we are spirit. And when we talk about spirituality, we talk about like the deliberate integration of like a spiritual practice that like brings us closer to who we are and brings us home to who we are. Like that's what spirituality is in the way that we use it, right? It's about like being conscious and aware of it and like deliberately connecting with it. So what is it that you can do to deliberately connect with your spirituality, with your broader self, with who you really are, right? So I'm going to leave you with that. I would love to hear if this message resonated with you, and if it feels aligned for you, you can subscribe and like the video. Definitely like check out the free intuition workshop I have at the link in the description, or if you feel aligned to do the 7-day Unblock Your Intuitive Channel series, that's available for you to start as well. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.